Regression now, and today we're seeing if the technique can help viewer Lisa White. She wrote to us about her crippling panic attacks and described how they were ruining her life. She wondered if they could be explained by an experience in a past life and if Andrea Foulkes could help her uncover them. Here's her regression.
The phobia I have is panic, claustrophobia, severe anxiety. It just comes on any time. Could be out of the blue, or it could be because of a situation such as enclosed spaces. They can be like shortness of breath, which is the main way how it starts. It's shortness of breath. Then I become aware of the fact that I'm struggling for breath, and then that gets worse and worse until I'm really, really struggling. Sometimes I have to grab hold of something to like ground myself because I just feel I can't breathe. Other symptoms are pins and needles. You think you get pins and needles in your hands and your legs, but I get it in my stomach. And what happens is it starts to build up. You think, if I'm going to get this, you know, in my lungs and in my heart, my God, you know, I'm going to die. And you start panicking, like, really severely.
Are you male or female?
Male.
What's your name? Do you know how old
Samuel.
you are? Samuel. How old are you, Samuel?
I don't know, 12.
Do you know what year it is?
18, 21.
So your name's Samuel and it's 1821 and you're working for the master and you're wearing...
Samuel Hardy.
How long have you been working in this house?
Since I was a boy.
How old would you say being a boy was?
5.
Oh, so you've been there a long time.
Yeah, he's like a father. Like a father.
Who looks after you?
The house.
What do you do in the house?
Work for the master.
Whose house is it?
His house. My father's brother.
And what's your uncle then's name?
Is he the Henry Bishop, or he is a bishop?
What does your uncle do for a living?
He's a big man, important.
What kind of clothes does he wear for his job?
Frilly collar. White frilly collar underneath. Small one. Long black coat.
What happened to your own mother and father?
Dead.
They're dead. So did you get sent to this house? Where did you live?
On a farm.
Where was the farm?
Somerset.
And what was your family surname of your parents? Is it the same as what you're called now, which is Hardy?
Jeffrey.
Jeffrey. What was Mummy's name?
It's wrong.
Do you know what happened to Mummy and Daddy? Did anybody tell you?
Died.
How did they die?
Burnt. Farm burnt down.
What burnt down?
Farm burnt
Farm
down.
burnt. Were you in the farm?
I was a baby.
Why are you getting pains sometimes? Why are you getting those?
I think when I died.
From 12 years of age, let's go to the next significant event in that lifetime of Samuel.
In London. 17.
What are you doing in London?
On a journey. Taking a letter.
Who are you taking the letter to?
Minister. He's got funny hair.
Whereabouts are you to deliver this letter to?
Lamport. Lamport Road.
What is on Lamport Road? Is it
Church.
A church. So what connection does your uncle have to the church?
I think he's in charge of people.
How have you got to London?
Carriage.
Are you still in the carriage?
No, I'm in a room in the church. I think it's in the church.
Which church is it?
Bartholomew. I feel really hot, smuggy. Something's hot, like heat. So I think there must be a fire, but I don't see it.
Are there any windows where you are?
No, I'm stuck in a room.
How are you beginning to feel now? You try and get out, or...?
I can't, I'm stuck. I'm in a room, they've locked the door.
Who's locked you in the room?
Some man. It was a man I gave the note to. And another man with a beard.
Do you think this fire is a natural occurrence?
No, someone set the place alight. I think my uncle's done something wrong.
And do you
I think he's dead.
your uncle's dead?
I think they killed him when I was on my way to London. I want to get rid of him.
They want to get rid of him?
The man in the white with the white hair wants his job.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to sleep. I can't smoke. It's no smoke. It's the heat. I can hear it.
What did you decide about that lifetime?
It's so sad.
7, 8, eyes open, 9, 10, wide awake.
Well, we'll be seeing how that regression has affected Lisa right after the break.
And Rachel Stevens will be performing her summer single. So whatever you do, there she is. Don't go away. Slightly unconventional, but welcome back. Keep watching to see if you won £7,000, and the sexy Rachel Stevens will be performing live.
But first, we're talking regression, and before the break, we saw Lisa White taken back to a past life to see if it could help her overcome her panic attacks in this one. Well, she's here now with regression therapist Andrea Foulkes, and we saw there that you were in a room, obviously feeling panicky, and you reckon what happens was you were in a room that was set alight. So you...
Well, yeah, I don't actually remember much of what happened. I mean, I've only just seen
And that's
that.
because she'd gone deeper into it. I mean, it was quite a complicated web of events, and we've just shown the past life thing, but it was also linked to, you know, we've talked about entities other weeks. There were 5 entities attached which hadn't helped circumstances, and they had issues, and they'd given her pins and needles, other feelings, which added into the thing. It was also linked to events in this lifetime in birthing, which links in with what Dr. Gowrie said earlier.
So, first of all, you went to have your regression that we saw there, and came out and had a sort of partial recovery, but you did have a panic attack and decided that you should go back. And so one that we didn't see was when you went back to have another regression.
She was okay after the first session that we did, which we filmed and we saw, you know, linked to the past life. She was fine going into lifts and tubes and fine in open spaces, weren't you? It was still the breathing that was affected. And I think the breathing was, obviously we saw the past life, she died not being able to breathe, but it was also compounded in this lifetime, which we don't have a videotape of, which was being born in this lifetime. Because I do the inner child therapy, she went back to being, before she was born in this lifetime, in her mother's womb, the time about to be born. She was a month overdue. Her mother's waters broke on the Monday. She was born on the Thursday. And she had a fear of coming out and started panicking and breathing. So we changed the birthing process and went back to that event, which you can do. And that was a much more positive...
You can change history.
And now it's affected her breathing, and she's fine now.
So do you feel better?
I do, yeah.
Do you think you're cured of your panic attacks?
As far as I've got to today,
Right.
yes, I do feel like my life has changed a lot. Right. I haven't yet experienced getting on a flight. I actually come from Jersey in the Channel Islands, and my parents still live there, and I tend to fly home quite a lot. But it got to the point where Christmas, I flew back after Christmas with my boyfriend, and well, my poor boyfriend and my poor father, I had a tantrum basically because I wasn't getting on the plane, and that was it. And it, you know, when I get on a plane in August for my mother's birthday and I get on and I'm fine, then I'll know that I've really been cured.
Only your mum and your boyfriend knew that you were coming on today, or that you're even been regressed.
Yes.
So what do you think they're going to... they'll be looking very closely to see whether there's some sort of change in you.
My boyfriend's already noticed the change, I think, in the respect that we've... his father had his birthday a few weeks ago, and he comes from Essex. Before, that would have been a challenge, getting on the tube going up to Essex. You know, for me it's not, oh, I'm getting on a tube, it's, have I got something to read to distract me? Have I got some water so I can drink something? Have I got chewing gum so I don't get a dry mouth?
You're talking about, you know, sort of, Gary, who was on earlier on, and talking about people having traumatic births and being terrified. I mean, if the actual process of being born can affect you further on in your life...
And a lot of clients, because part of the regression that I do isn't always past lives, it's, you know, this lifetime, and it goes from, you know, pre-birth to present day, and that pre-birth is often in the womb. People go back to traumas in the womb, so that's almost like a rebirthing process that they call rebirthing, so you can change it via that. And part of, you know, Lisa's issues were linked to that, but compounded by the past life as well, where she died with breathing problems as well. So it's all
obviously, as we always do,
interlinked.
we looked into the. We couldn't find St Bartholomew's in a Lamport Road. We found some St Bartholomew's, but the only one we could find in Lamport, there was a Lamport Road in Northampton, but not in London. But there we go.
Stop worrying as well.
Yeah,
so
but
much.
the most important thing is
it seems to have worked.
That's worked.
Yeah, it's
Good.
made a massive difference to me.
Good. Enjoy your trip to Jersey.
Thank you.
Right, just before we go, earlier on we asked you which pop band was Rachel Stevens once in. The answer, of course, was S Club. Congratulations to Liz Verrier from Warwick.